Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And today we're just going to talk about the Rifftrax Kickstarter that got announced just the other day, and I wanted to get a discussion going. This is, like, I always love hearing from you guys so much. I love the conversations we have in the comments, I love the conversations we have over on Patreon, I love just talking with you guys on Twitter, all that good stuff. And this is one where I am extremely interested in your guys' opinions. I really want us to discuss. If you have an opinion about this, good, bad, even indifferent, anything you have to say, definitely comment today. Even if you don't normally comment, I would love to know what you guys think of this. Because I, for one, am very disappointed. For those of you who haven't taken a look at this yet, you know, every year for the last, I believe it says on here, this will be the 6th, I think it's been 5 consecutive successful years, so I guess this is the 6th year. And most of their Kickstarters have been both really successful and really exciting. There's been something really cool about almost all of them. But there has been a significant decrease in coolness I've noticed in these past 2 years. So, just for an example, this is 2018, in 2016, we got 4 shows. In fact, I have the Kickstarter page up right now. I'm actually going to look it up so I can tell you. So 2016, they had the Kickstarter for Time Chasers, the Mystery Science Theater Reunion Show, which will always hold a special place in my heart, birth of my channel and everything, Mothra, and Carnival of Souls. That's the one I was really forgetting. So they had 4 shows that year, one of them being huge, being the Mystery Science Reunion Show. Like I've said, that show's very important to me. It's the reason this channel exists, was because I didn't think people were talking about it enough. So I started my YouTube channel that I wanted to for a while, and it immediately was just covered in Mystery Science and Rifftrax goodness. And then last year, we had a slightly smaller one. Instead of 4 shows, we had 3 shows, but they were good shows, and there were a lot of front runners. There were a lot of big deals. Like with this one, clearly the 2 biggest for 2016 were Time Chasers and the Mystery Science Reunion Show, a redo of a classic episode of Mystery Science, and a Mystery Science Reunion. 2017, we had only 3 shows. They cut one out, but they were 3 really good ones. We had Samurai Cop, a redo of a classic Rifftrax. We had another guest-filled shorts show that had most of the same Mystery Science cast and Paul F. Tompkins that came up to do that. And we had the Doctor Who show, which during the Kickstarter it was kept a secret. It was a big secret what show that was going to be. And while I did admit at the time, too, I was a little disappointed that it was a Doctor Who thing that maybe not a lot of people, people who aren't Doctor Who fans aren't going to, be quite as jazzed about, especially for them building it up the way it did. It was a good show, and overall, I think that was a really good slate of shows to have another guest-filled short show, to have a classic Rifftrax, which Samurai Cop is one of my favorites now. It's hilarious. If I ever go back and redo one of my top 10 lists, if I redid my VOD list or my live show list, that would have to be on there. But, it was a really good, successful year. So that's 2 big, successful years in a row, both with the guest-filled short show, and both with a classic of something, taken and done again, all that stuff. And then we suddenly cut to this year, to 2018, and we have only 2 shows, neither of which I am particularly jazzed about at all, because it is a new riff for a movie called Krull, which is apparently a sword and sorcerer flick, I believe is what it says. Yes, Sword and Sorcerer Cult Adventure Classic. That is a mouthful to say. Krull, which part of me wants to say I've never heard of, but part of me wants to say I have heard of it. I don't know. And Space Mutiny. And I kind of have an issue with Space Mutiny. This could be like every other time they've redone one of the Mystery Sciences, and I'm like, I don't know about that, and then it's really good. Space Mutiny is, I think, literally the last one they should have picked if you're going to redo one, because it's like the Christmas ones, while classics, they were able to redo. I think they do Santa Claus better as a Rifftrax, but Martians, I think, is still better on Mystery Science. Manos, I think you can definitely do, because I think Manos on Mystery Science is pretty dang rough, but they made it really good. And, the Magic Sword, they did that as a VOD, not a live show, but that's one it's a good Mystery Science, but it's a good Rifftrax too. It wasn't like, it's not beloved. But Space Mutiny is like the episode. That is like an episode that's almost everyone's gonna have it in their top 10. It's an episode that's fantastic for introducing people to the show. It's a great first episode. A lot of the sci-fi season ones are, but the like Space Mutiny is like one of the kings in the mystery science world. It is a huge deal for us. You guys would know this clearly. And I just think that's a really bad choice. There are mystery science ones like Manos that I think they could do better. Not even that I think they're like super weak or anything. But you could take clearly any season 1 episode, any KTMA things. But there's a lot, I think, in every season you could do and do at least as well. But Space Mutiny, even if it's great, it's like Space Mutiny is so perfect. It's almost like you're setting yourselves up for failure. Not that they'll fail, but just, you know what I mean? It seems somewhat foolhardy, I think, to pick that one. And it seems a little, I hate using the word cash grab, but, and I'm not going to say that's what it is necessarily. I'm not saying, oh, they're only doing it for money or attention, but it definitely is an attention-grabbing title to use. Time Chasers, well, one of my favorite episodes for sure, I know a lot of people really like it. Time Chasers, Space Mutiny. What's the bigger mystery science title? It's Space Mutiny, by a lot. And so, you know, and I like their Time Chasers one. I'm sure I'll like the Space Mutiny one fine, but I don't know. It seems a little bit more like, oh, well, this will at least get people really excited instead of like, well, what can we make better if we're gonna redo a mystery science one, or why don't we just pick a new movie? There's so many bad movies out there they could choose. And yeah, I'm a little disappointed by the fact that they're, again, especially for only doing 2 shows this year, and you're gonna redo not just one, but like the most classic of mystery science episodes. I just think that's a bizarre choice. Honestly, I think it's kind of a bad choice. Krull, I think, fine. You know, that's a sword and sorcerer movie. That should be fun. But, again, the fact that we're only getting 2, it kind of gets under my skin a little bit, because for so long we had 4 shows. And then all of a sudden we had 4 shows, and then in 2016, though, like, it actually, for the last 3 years, has kind of been, like, just tiny little bitty things that have gotten to me, and this is the worst for sure, though, is that 2016, we had 4 shows, which is great, but we didn't have a Christmas show, which is disappointing to me. No, because Carnival of Souls was Halloween. Okay, so we did have a Halloween show, but we didn't have a Christmas show. And then last year we had 3 shows, like I said, really strong ones. No holiday shows at all, though. They ended in August, and I was really disappointed by that. I love the Halloween and Christmas shows. Those are some of my absolute favorites. They're some of my favorites to experience. So I really like the holiday ones, so no holiday ones, and then this time it's even worse by cutting it down to only 2, and they're in, I think it's June and August? Yeah, Space Mutiny is June 14th, Krull is August 23rd, and yeah, I really don't like, Krull, like I said, is fine, but I really don't like the fact that they chose Space Mutiny. I don't like the fact that it's only 2, and I don't like the fact that we don't get any holiday shows at all. No short shows, which have been some of my favorites the past couple years. I know you guys too have loved those. So, I don't know, I am genuinely really, really disappointed in this one, and I hate saying that. I really do. Just like last year, I hated saying, you know, I'm not a huge Doctor Who person, so I wish they'd done something else for the Secret Show if you're gonna build it up. But in this case, it's like the whole Kickstarter, it seems like kind of a dud. The rewards still seem pretty good. They have a pin this year. I love pins. I have a bunch of pins from Disney World and stuff. I love that kind of stuff. Like little collectibles. I love that. But, you know, it's their standard good rewards, which is nice. But it doesn't make up for the fact, like, we would have paid the same amount for those rewards anyway and gotten more shows. And if it has anything to do with their scheduling, if it's like health reasons, if it's a family emergency, you don't need to tell us that. You don't need to get specific with us. But if they would just say, there were scheduling conflicts, we couldn't schedule more than 2. It could be with Fathom, like maybe Fathom Events didn't have more than 2 slots for them to simulcast it or something. But it's like, can we at least get even the most minor of explanations? You know what I mean? I think that would clear it up for me to where I'd be able to accept it more than it just being like, oh, we're only doing 2 shows and that's all you know. Because that is all we know. Unless I missed something, because I reread the whole page and I don't see anything where there's an explanation for only 2. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know about this. I definitely want to know your opinions, though. Let me know how excited or not excited you are about this, disappointed or not. If you feel more optimistic about it than me, if you feel more pessimistic about it than me. And as always, like I said, I'm sure the shows are gonna be good, but I just think it's like that's a huge downgrade, especially from like just again 2016, 2018, huge drop off in terms of number of shows and what they are and what films they are and who's going to be there and all that stuff. So I just think it's a little weird. But you let me know what you guys think. And like I'd said earlier, I think late last year, I really wanted to go to one of the live shows this year. I don't know if that's going to happen. First off, the schedule, I was really hoping they would do like a December one, because that I think I would have had much more of a chance to getting to. It, I'm gonna be recording an update video right after this video. That'll be up super soon after this one. It's gonna go into more detail about what's been going on with me lately and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things is, though, to make some long story extremely short here, which will be longer later, I'm not currently working. I am just in school right now to finish strong. I graduate in June. So because I don't have much money coming in, I don't know if I could go to either of these or not, especially because I don't even know if I'd have anyone to go with me. My dad just got a new job. He keeps moving on up in that nursing ladder, which is great. But I don't even know next time he'd have a lot of time off, and when he does, we'd probably want to spend it as a family, like all of us, instead of it just being him, me, and my mom going, because my sisters wouldn't be as interested in the Rifftrax show, or whatever. And then, I'm not sure how that's gonna work out, but I'm gonna make the update video, talk more about it there. But I don't know if I can go this year, and I feel really bad because I really wanted to, and I mentioned it, and you guys seemed really excited, and I said, oh, we wait till the dates came out, we'd look at it then, but I had a job then, and I don't know. We're gonna have to see. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think about all these announcements, if they're good, bad, or anything else. And I guess I'll see you guys later.